Callum hit him. Listen, Callum Johnson hit him, and he went over proper. People forget that it weren't a flash knockdown. The 3, 4 hand, you can that's good now. You got to be a bit Nazes now and take your opponent out. And it didn't. It went. I think it went 10, and you're like, that's not the ending really that you want. You'd think that's going to be fight of the night. You think it's going to be round 13. Lift off.
You're saying, don't be surprised. Jack?
No, it's so many rounds with him. No,
he's not buying into all the, going over the top with the hype with Opetaya.
He's a violent man, isn't he?
And
big fan.
It's a stunning fight for the very reason that no one can confidently say what's going to happen.
Exactly. I would not be one bit surprised if we get it wrong.
Anyway.
Wow.
Welcome to the Project Boxing Podcast, episode 11. Anthony, so we'll get to our letter of the day a little down the line, but first things first, of course, a few days after Nick Wrecking Ball did what Nick Ball does, and you were working the show as well, looking resplendent, nice little outfit there.
That means a lot, that. Do you know that blazer he had on, Dom? It's over 10 years old.
Really?
I don't want to brag, but how many people, however many years after retirement, can get in the same blazer as when they used to box?
Right, is that genetics or is that you working out every day?
Bit of both.
So you've never walked past a mirror you didn't like though, have you?
That didn't like me either. It did not like me either. So it fitted me the same. But I'm very proud of that, Dom. I'm very proud of that. Right, well. So any of my mates who were fat coaches, shout out to them.
Come back?
Come back? Absolutely not.
No?
Never in a million
You get asked
years.
that a lot, don't you?
I do get asked a lot, but no, never.
Don't miss it one bit in terms of the actual...
No, the actual getting punched in the face. No,
I know we've spoken about this before.
Too busy with this, Tom. Too busy with the coaching, the other stuff. And I always say it, and I know it's people who've just probably heard me say it loads of times, but like, for instance, I'm in the gym all the time coaching the fighters. They're busy, I've got busy stable. And then weekend, I was working the TV, working the show. So you're in a great spot where, you're around all the time. We're at some of the fight weeks and stuff. So, no, it's good.
And, you're a TV star with Project Boxing anyway. You were with FK on Bernard Report.
I had fantastic feedback. Do you know what? It was a brilliant piece that I'll forget all the jokes.
If you haven't seen that piece, then check it out.
No, really do check it out.
TV Granada, FK Group, and the great work that they're doing, that we're working with them on.
We try to do,
to help boxers.
Story. There's a top story, especially with mate John Murray, young Sonny as well. So boxers at both end of the scale, before and after and stuff. Yeah. And
we do say it all the time, but obviously in our own little way, we're trying to provide that bit of support network for fighters at the start of the career or at the end or during the career. And again, everybody knows that most fighters need a lot of support.
Of course,
it's the kind of stuff as well, though. If you were starting off now, if you were 18 and thinking about going pro, you do need something in place, don't you? You can't now put all your eggs in one basket. You can't
honestly, unless, and I'm not even talking now, Dom, about being on the GB setup. I'm talking about, unless you've got a major medal, Olympic medal or something like that, you're not guaranteed this glamorous contract. You're really not. So it's great to have something in place. Listen, you saw Bobby in today. His dad picked him up there. Now he's going straight to work.
Bobby Faulkner.
Very talented, and in my opinion, he's more than good enough to be with one of the big promoters with a TV contract. Anyone who knows him knows that, but he's got to go to work in the meantime. A few of them, Levi, he's just had his TV fight fall through. Thankfully, they're keeping him on the bill, but still waiting to hear what basis he has to work. He comes straight from work today.
He works in social care, doesn't he?
Yeah, social care. He come, and he come a few hours later than the other lads, so he could change so well done for him. But just because obviously he has bills to pay, he's got a little family himself, so he has to earn money.
So basically what we're trying to do, apprenticeships for young amateur boxers. They make great apprentices for all the right reasons. They've got discipline, they turn up on time, they take orders, they listen, they want to learn. So that's with FK Group wanting to take on young boxers as apprentices, but also, as you mentioned, John Murray. So it's ex-pros as well. He's got all these transferable skills, John. Smart lad. And now site manager.
He's really happy.
It's great.
And he's saying it's like... I'm buzzing to see that. I was buzzing to see John the other week as well.
And you took all the glory?
Yep, you played a huge part in that, Dom, so I'll give you the glory back. But I was just like the face of it, one. I was just the face of it.
No, come on, Ant.
I mean, I'd done my bit. I did do my bit, yeah, but no, it was a team effort. There's no iron team, Dom, as much as you want to make it about you.
Anyway, Nick Ball.
Nick Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, so he was top of the bill, but there's other stories on that bill, which we will get to. Yeah. But Nick did the business again. So how impressed were you with him against Ronny Rios?
Do you know what? Nick's just so exciting. And listen, he didn't have it all his own way. I think there must be a bit of damage to his nose, but he's just so entertaining. Yeah. And I always say the engine on him, what he has,
supremely fit,
it's unbelievable. Unbelievable engine. And it was dominant in the way that even every round, but maybe one he didn't. But Rios, I think he shocked a lot of people with his tactics to sort of stand there, take him on the gloves, and he landed some good shots. The card doesn't tell the story of the fight because he did land some really good shots, but Nick was just that little bit too strong, just overwhelmed him. And even at the end, like I said it on air, like, he had damage to his nose, so it's probably affecting his breathing. And even the burst he put together, it was through with bad intentions at round, was it 10? Was it 10, round 10?
Yeah.
I think it was, knocks Rios through the ropes. But I said it, for someone who's so small, he uses his jab fantastic. Massive shout out to Paul Stevenson, the Everton Red Triangle team. He had a busy night, he had 5 lads on, 5 winners, 4 KOs. Super impressed with Andrew Kane.
Yeah.
Andrew Kane.
Well, you were bigging him up
before,
fan. Weren't you?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Andrew Kane, and he looked very good.
Yeah.
But all 5 of his fighters won.
Yeah, but you've got to give a massive mention to a fella that's in here quite a lot, sparring your lads.
Yeah,
Jack
down here with Steve Mailer. Yeah,
against
honestly,
Henry Turner, a top fight, good matchmaking. It was great.
Dom, I was saying before how good of a fight it was going to be, and it was one of them. And listen, being honest, Frank, you don't normally get it wrong when they bring you someone through. And Henry Turner, I thought he was fantastic for 6 rounds, 7 rounds of the fight. But do you know what it was? This was obviously down to the pressure that Jack Raff was putting on him. He was probably working that little bit too hard, but because Jack was making him, and he was catching up with him, and I could see it, even though I think it was the 9 rounds had passed or something like that. I think I had it like 7-1 and 1 even. I had Turner well up, but I just had that feeling Jack was going to get to him. I've seen it in here how strong he is, and do you know what he is, Don?
The Demolition Man.
The Demolition Man, yeah. And do you know what? Should we just say it now? Because I'll big him up. What's the letter this week?
H for hero.
H for hero. And my hero of the week is Jack Rafferty, because do you know what it is? It's how dedicated he is. I was stuck with it when a lot would have walked away. He's now British champion, Commonwealth champion. He's got the WBC International. And he's one of the most dedicated pros I've ever come across. And honestly, I genuinely mean this. And I think Henry Turner, number 8 there, I think he'll come again. I think he's a class actor. Yeah. Just, you know what it was? There was good boxing people. Al Smith, Eddie Lamb with Henry Turner. I thought it was a very good decision as well, by the way, by Al Smith. I thought it was a brilliant decision in the corner just to pull him to save him for another day. Steve Mailer, I see how hard he works with his fighters. Steve Mailer, the team down there. And with Jack, I think you could see there's a great interview after it with Terry Flanagan. It was Becky who talked about Terry Flanagan. Terry was like, you could see he was caught up in it, because Terry don't really say that much. But he was just he was speaking a lot about Jack and stuff, and I thought, nah, you deserve everything you get out of this game. He absolutely lives and breathes it. And even like there's a moment before it, Steve Bunty, he was sort of laughing. The dad, Dave, you could see how nervous he was, and he shouted me, just before the ring war, and I was like, and you could see how nervous he was. He was pacing up and down, and he's a big man, Dave. And then after it, there's a picture, I think it was Karen was in the change room, Karen Priestley, and you see him and he's dad, and I thought, it's one of boxing's good stories that. I know like they've lost a mum, and it was just, he was saying it was all for his mum. Just very, very emotional story, very nice, and absolute credit to him. So hero. I think that's what you meant. Hero of the week, did you mean, or just in general?
It was H. It's the letter H this week. It's the 11th letter of the alphabet. It's the 11th episode. But that's a good hero. But we can elaborate on that in a sec if you want. But do you know that Dave Rafferty
Of course I do.
No, I'm just going to tell you something you might not know.
Go on.
Went to, I think, primary school and has known him since they were very, very young anyway. Grew up with Glenn McCrory.
No way, I never knew that. I knew Dave Years, so I didn't know that one.
Yep.
No, I didn't know that.
School pals, Glenn and...
Glenn, Big Glenn. Character, yeah.
Yeah. Former Cruiserweight World Champion.
Well, imagine copping for those two lads on a night out. You'd know about it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, yeah. And obviously, great boxing family, Rafferty's anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Tom, do you know what? That was another one. You could see how close him and his brother Tom are, and even the mate Joe who comes here, they just stuck together.
In the coffee shop in Ancoats, didn't we, the other week?
We do, yeah.
Zach Miller
yeah,
in
of course.
well.
You know what? That gym, they're all very close. Liam Taylor, I think he'll get his British title shot.
It's a bit like your gym in a way, isn't it? It's a bit, Steve's a young coach, and
yeah, and they're all very close. Yeah, I do. Honestly, I respect them massively, and it's just seeing all top lads, and I
think we mentioned it before, but that story with Steve and Terry, some of the same mistake,
unbelievable. That's
coming through the way they did and going to World Honours.
Unbelievable story. Don't get the love it.
And then you bottled out fighting him, which again would have been red v blue.
Yeah, Battle of Manchester, and I wanted no part of it.
You didn't want Terry.
Don't make it about me. I'm super pleased for him.
No, it was great that. Anyway, so so that's your hero of the week. But if you were talking boxing heroes, so Jack Raff's a great hero of the week.
Yeah,
brilliant. Who would be your hero?
Do you know what? It's mad. Listen, I'd have my favourite fighters and stuff like that. But a hero growing up, I think any young Manchester lad, or I think British fighter at the time, it was actually his birthday that weekend. It was Ricky Hatton. You idolised him. You wanted to be. You wanted to be like him. I remember at amateur shows, I probably used to pest him, going over and ask him questions. I thought, he's this nuisance, but I probably wasn't the only one.
No.
But what he'd done, like a lad.
A hitman, it's all H anyway, isn't it? Hatton, hitman, hero, yeah.
But so that was it. Obviously, I remember one of my early memories was being at my nan and grandmother's watching another H, Hamed, Nazim Hamed. Yeah. They was great times. Obviously, you'd never seen anything like it. The ring walks and stuff like that. It was just insane. His sons are now fighting. So that was it. I think, in general, I think my childhood hero was Eric Cantona. Eric Cantona. Do you know what else as well? Hulk Hogan. He was, but I don't know. You just hear a few too many mad stories about him now. So, yeah.
Oh, Eric's a natural one.
Yeah, Eric was my hero. Collars up all the time and stuff like that. Yeah. But no, we had boxing sort of.
No, I was listening to Roy Keane and Schmeichel, with Gary Neville thing.
The overlap, I need to see that.
Yeah, they were talking about him again. Keane always, he's one person that you always know Keane kind of won't say a bad word about, the impact that he had. But Ricky, and obviously everyone of that era always quite rightly gives a mention to the likes of Brody, who was arguably
brilliant.
Could have been a bit,
but he just
been a bigger star, if you know what I mean. He just didn't get the look, did he?
Of course, and I think the story Ricky had and stuff. But Brody's, when you think he had a tough upbringing, Mike. Do you know what I mean? And I was class. He was brilliant, and then he was robbed of his world title. And
you ended up boxing him, obviously.
I did, obviously, and that was a shell on Mike. But no, Mike's just he was brilliant. He was brilliant.
Yeah, so Ricky, Hitman, Hatton, your hero. And the thing about Ricky as well, I mean, a lot's made of it, taking whoever you believe. I was there when he boxed Mayweather, and it was ridiculous how many people he took to the States. And the MGM running out of beer and the piano bar.
Brilliant.
There. I mean, that place was mental. That few days in Vegas, it was incredible. But there was a rodeo in town as well, and there was about 150,000 cowboys.
Yeah, that was massive.
You didn't see any of them. It was just all Ricky's.
I was going to say a lot of Manx, a lot of Brits on it.
Yeah. Well, he had a really strong Scouse following as well, Ricky.
Yeah, no, he did. I know one of his good mates.
And obviously, he completely managed to get over the Blue Moon Man City thing.
Of course he did.
No one really bothered about that in the city, in Manchester. They weren't
City weren't really doing that much at the time, so that probably helped. But no, they didn't, because Ricky was a real. Yeah. No, they did. The club got behind him massively, but because Ricky was just a man of the people. Yeah. It didn't matter that the football got put aside. There was loads of Reds who went over watching Ricky. And stuff,
and when Ricky said he thinks he had a pint with everyone that came to watch him fight, I think that was about right.
No, I bet he did.
He absolutely captured the imagination, not just because he was brilliant at what he did. I mean, his body shots were legendary, quite rightly. But obviously he was a bit of a Jack the Lad, which everyone loved. But he came through when Oasis came through. and all that kind of thing, and the football, and you know what I mean. Oasis, we're already going, but you know what I mean. That whole Britpop thing.
Yeah, no,
Ricky was around at the right time.
It worked really well for him, but he played his part massively. He played his part massively, and I always say it. First Rickenham fight, Oldham Leisure Centre, beat Tommy Peacock for the Central Area title. His first title fight, I was there.
Yeah, I was
with an oversized Ben Sherman. My dad's mate took me ringside because it was a bit cheaper there, like with being at Oldham Leisure Centre, one at an arena and stuff like that. Yeah, Ben Sherman shirt that looked like I'd borrowed off my dad.
You boxed there yourself as well.
Yeah,
funny enough, I was working on a Block 1 show on Friday with Derry Matthews.
Derry, we boxed there, yeah.
He was talking about
massive lesson for me that night. Yeah, it's Derry's busy now with the coaches. With his gym, he's got a busy gym.
He's just so committed to the amateur scene.
I love it. Do you know what? Honestly, I was here the other night with the amateurs. I was doing a bit with Dom, one of the coaches, and at times I think, why did I bother with the pros? I think I like it better with these young guns and stuff. But yeah.
Right. Well, let's have a look now, because this week, Anthony, it's the fight of all fights, really. If you think about it, well, I think anyone that's followed both fellas, and I know you've been in the corner, I think, haven't you, with one of them?
No.
Were you not there that time?
No,
we'll get to that in a sec. But it is obviously this light heavy showdown between the two best, and there's no arguing that absolutely streets ahead of anyone else in the light heavyweight division, in my opinion anyway. People might say different, but Beterbiev, Bivol, top of the bill in Saudi. I mean,
what a fight. What a fight. And it's just, you know what it is, what's fascinating is so many people are split, and I started thinking, do I change my mind? And I've got my prediction now, but it could change again. But it's like sort of, you've got one fighter who just carries unbelievable power, but he's more than that. Yeah. And then you've got another fighter who you think, if someone is to beat him, he's got the style to beat him, and he carries out that style so well. So we've got Beterbiev and Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. Unbeaten. It doesn't get better than that. 1 and 2, however you want to see it. Fighting for other marbles, and it's a fascinating fight. It's a fascinating fight. It got put back once, I think, did it? Did it get put back once? No, I'm really looking forward to it as a boxing fan. I don't know. I'll ask you your prediction in a minute. Do you know what's swinging it for me? I just don't know, and he's so correct, and balance is lovely and stuff. I don't know if Bivol is going to have the firepower to keep Beterbiev off. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, Beterbiev, he's not just someone who looks to take it out one shot. He wears you down. And when he beat my mate Callum, I was gutted, but Callum hits hard. Callum hits very hard, and he just couldn't get the respect of Beterbiev that night, could he? And I just wonder.
He still put him down though, didn't he?
Not Callum Johnson. Callum
Smith. Sorry, I'm going back to Callum Johnson.
Yeah, it looks like
that was 2018.
Callum hit him. Listen, Callum Johnson hit him, and he went over proper. People forget that it weren't a flash knockdown. Do you know what I mean? And really, as well, what also happened is he should have been pulled. They hit Callum with a shot, which was an illegal shot. Didn't get pulled, and that was it. But yeah, anyway.
So the two Callums,
unbelievable. He beat two of my mates, but that's what I just think could be the difference, trying to keep him off. But again, I could be wrong. It's not one of them where I really pick a winner, because Bivol he's just very correct. He could box a very disciplined fight and just outpoint him. A little bit similar to the way he did Canelo, but now we'll see. What do you think?
So what's your, if you...
My prediction is Beterbiev win. Beterbiev win.
Just win, you're not saying how?
Stoppage.
When? Late?
Late. 9-10.
I can see Bivol doing what he did to Canelo.
No, I can see that as well. That's what I'm saying. I can see that as well.
He's got age on his side as well.
He has.
We know he's got a great engine. Also, Beterbiev's had all these injuries.
Yeah,
his things going. Is he creaking a little bit? I don't know.
Possibly. He does have a lot of injuries, but
it's a stunning fight for the very reason that no one can confidently say what's going to happen.
Exactly that. I would not be one bit surprised if we get it wrong.
No, but the beauty of the card. It's also it's kind of a positive and a negative, but you've got to just feast on this card because it's just sensational.
It's a belter.
And I know you could say they could all headline in their own right.
Yeah.
So it's a shame on that side, possibly. But when you put a card like that on, and you look at it and you think, I'm just, you're there for the duration, aren't you? There's not one minute that you would miss. It's just fantastic from top to bottom. So there's a young kid who's probably opening the TV side of the show. Is it in Joe Gallagher's?
Oh yeah, young Mo. Yeah, I've not met him, but I know the twins who coach here. They have. They said he's a good kid.
Mo
kid. And remember, I think like obviously he's inexperienced and stuff, but young Saudi fighter. Hopefully he can. Obviously, I'm sure Joe and the team will be doing a top job there. Hopefully he can shine, and then they'll get behind him for sure. Yeah. So no, he's first, and then I don't know if they put the running order out, but.
Well, we'll
go for it anyway.
It doesn't really matter. We know that Ben Whittaker is on against
Liam Cameron. What a story. And listen, deserved so. We give a great account of himself against. He is more to it than boxing. Listen, it's a tough night for him. There's no denying that. He's fighting Ben Whittaker, who's an unbelievable talent. And listen, I feel like Ben's got a little bit to prove me. Listen. Unbelievable talent, and he's never looked like losing. But I thought last time out, I'll be honest, at was it Selhurst Park? Wasn't it?
I'm just trying
he boxed Ezra, who trains not far from here.
Yes, yeah.
And listen, the people you want to see, right?
Yeah,
3-4 rounds.
That was brilliant, kind of the way he made
how
that
he got
fight
the fight.
happen.
Every credit. He just went and it worked for him.
Just jumped on a press conference.
Yeah, and then he got it from there. No, every credit. And listen, in the fight, he gave a good account of himself, but. You saw the showboating for Ben after 3-4 rounds. You can that's good now. You got to be a bit Nazes now and take your opponent out. And it didn't. I think it went 10, and you're like, that's not the ending really that you want. I'm not saying. Listen, Cameron, you think on paper is a harder fight than Ezra, but we want to see that a little bit more from Ben. We want to see what he's capable of. The talent he has. We don't want to see showboating for the 10 rounds. He's a showman, and I think he's a great talent. They draw a line at some of it, but you know what's mad? Like in the world we live in, a social media world, my little lad and all his mates talk about, you see him on TikTok, and
you can't argue with
he does massive numbers. He's doing massive numbers. So but prediction you're asking for? Yeah. Ben points. Sorry.
Points.
Yeah, again, Ben on points. I think on points.
He's not going to listen to your advice.
No, I just won't be surprised if he gets it. If he goes out to try and make a statement, but I think it'll be Ben points.
Yeah, and Liam's come through the mill, hasn't he, to some tune, and again, just the fact
he has, nice, brilliant that he's there, deserved.
Yeah. Really, really good all-female fight. Sky Nicholson against Raven Chapman.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think it's a real contrast to styles. You've got, the boxer, the slickster, very hard to win in Sky Nicholson against Raven, who's great pressure fighter, good engine on her, and you're pretty sure how this one's going to go, where it's going to be Sky on the back foot trying to keep a distance, and Raven's going to be trying to hunt her down. What I think will happen, I think Sky will build up an early lead, but then it could get uncomfortable for her the last 4 rounds or something. I just think she'll take a lot of the early rounds and she'll win a close points decision. But I do, I think it's the biggest test of both girls' careers. I really do, and I think Raven will have success, but it might be a little bit too late, so that's my prediction. But listen, real good fight, and listen, if Raven finds the distance early and starts having success, then that prediction of mine, I'm pretty confident will be the other way around.
There's a shy fella who is a bit afraid to speak his mind. Chris Eubank Jr.
Yeah, I think he could do with speaking his mind a bit more, couldn't he, Junior?
He's in against Zarameta, which is probably the one fight where you think...
Yeah, Dom, I'll be honest, and Zarameta, I know very little about him, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but this is the one fight where, if there's one fight on the card, listen, Eubank Jr., he always brings entertainment, so I'm sure it'll be decent to watch, but I don't really know that much about it, so I am going to say probably a Eubank Jr. stoppage, but it's not every fight on the card, with the exception of Mo, you can make cases for. Do you know what I mean? Even Liam Cameron, you think, because of how well he done last time, it's one way, and Ben Nicholson, with this one, it's a little bit, it's a bit flat in it, do you know what I mean? Where you're thinking, but junior stoppage.
Junior stoppage.
I know what you're going to ask me next, and here's one that.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, might have a look for a few hours and then turn it on.
Wardley-Clarke, the big boys are at it again.
Mate, I can't pick a winner at this at the minute.
Well, there wasn't. You couldn't pick a winner the first time, could you?
No, I just. Do you know what? I don't. Do you know when people you think who could improve more, and then you lean towards probably Fabio Wardley because of his inexperience, even though he's more experienced as a pro. You lean towards him, but there were so many times in that fight where it looked like one lad had it wrapped up. No, you're not done. One lad had it wrapped up, and certainly that fight would keep me up because it was a belter. And you couldn't. Then it swing. It was just that's what made it such a great fight. It was such a brilliant fight, and it's just like both men are confident. I think that's just. Obviously, you'd think that's going to be fight of the night. You think it's going to be round 13, lift off.
Yeah.
Where they finished. I really can't pick a winner if I really have to. Oh. Honestly, I'm being a bit of a shithouse here because I don't know whether just Fraser box a bit more of a disciplined fight and that amateur pedigree come through, or just like I said, does Fabio make those more of an improvement and catch up with Fraser's time, put him over and finish the job? I really don't know, that one.
Who would you edge? So you're edging Fraser, just that touch here, possibly?
I don't know.
You're sitting on the fence with that one?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to watch the first fight back and see.
Right. Jai Opetaia is kind of the star at the minute of the cruiserweight division, isn't he? He's the ring number one.
He's a violent man, isn't he?
Yeah. And,
big fan.
Yeah, well, our very own Dan Morley was down watching him spar the other day, and he loved every minute of that. Dan's out in Saudi, by the way.
He is. He's living the dream. Me and you here in Oldham, Limeside, and
bits and pieces of work down there. He's a switched on boy.
He's a good man.
He knows what he's doing.
Man.
But Opetaia, Jack Massey, who we know well. And,
listen, Jack's got the right attitude. He really is. He really is, and I know that. You fancy, obviously, up the road with Joe Gallagher.
Well, jumped in with Joe Parker.
Late notice, give a good account of himself. So I think of it. Everyone goes on about the punch power Jai Opetaia carries.
Jack punches.
I don't think Jack can whack. I love his nickname, One Smack. Jack One Smack. It's a belter.
Yeah.
And listen, obviously, I'm rooting for Jack and whatnot, but it's a big ask. It's a big ask, and I see it being. Jack won't go over there just to lie down or to try and go to points. I just see Jai, especially last time after the Brady's fight, in a bit of a shootout really, and I think the smart money is Jai inside the distance, probably around 6. But obviously I'm rooting for Jack. Yeah. I'd be really rooting for Jack to land that big left hook of his.
Talking to your mate CJ, who we've mentioned obviously before, Callum Johnson. And he was saying, don't be surprised if Jack.
No, it's so many rounds with him. No,
he's not buying into all going over the top with the hype with Opetaia, because again he knows all about Jack. Obviously,
you've got to look at it. When you look at it, it was he boxed Richard Riatpur at York, didn't he, Jack? I'm right in saying that there, and they felt very hard done by. Was Richard Riatpur, wasn't he? It was the midweek. Yeah, that was. They felt very hard done by. Apart from Parker.
But that was a gimme one. It was a free hit.
Of course.
Jumping up to a heavyweight like that.
They feel, obviously, as an amateur, he was chasing the Chris Billingsmith fight, beating the ABAs and stuff. I know Chris has improved massively since then. But no, Jack's a quality operator.
Yeah. Right, well, that's the card to look forward to then.
Top to bottom,
this week.
I'm pretty confident to get a few wrong. What's that?
International week, football-wise.
Yeah.
Fishing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Who cares about International Week?
Don't even know what it is.
No one. The only international thing we're interested in is the World Cup and the Euros, isn't it?
Yeah. But what's your? You said your hero. Obviously, you've talked about your heroes this week, Jack Graff and Ricky Hatton. But I always ask
social media person.
You're always sending things. And
in the account, right? You're probably out there. It was on Twitter. I think it was someone called Lawrence Fox tweeted it. Lawrence Fox, I think it was. It just popped up on my feed. There's only like one of those. I don't know, you would say overprotective dads. His daughter, who's 17, brings home a boyfriend, and he told her more than once to leave the bedroom door open. She didn't listen. So what did he do? Took the door off the hinges, drilled it off, and she can't be trusted. That poor girl, can you imagine that? Oh, the lad, what's the lad going to think? Yep, until she's 18, she won't be allowed a door back on. He's going to review it. You've got to watch it, right, on the Twitter link. He likes it. No, you can't. You're going to act like a child. He's just that dad. He's just that dad. Yeah. So I don't know if he went for a pint with his potential son-in-law. Whether he's got one now, I don't know. I think that was his aim. But yeah, there's a video. It's on. I saw it on Twitter. It's a belter. It's off TikTok, but I saw it on Twitter.
You've got to get on those dad joke ones as well. It's the two. Well, it's different people. It's usually one fellow. The Tash and the sat on this. They're like on a dock.
Yeah.
Just telling some of the worst jokes you've ever heard.
I get on him.
It's yeah. So there's the occasional one. The duck goes into a pub and asks for a pint.
Go on.
And a ham sandwich, a packet of crisps. Sits down.
Yeah.
Starts eating ham sandwich. Has his pint.
Yeah.
The barman comes over after a bit and says, "This is amazing. Amazing. Look at you." Yeah, you're right, pal.
Yeah.
Just having me lunch. I went, it was incredible though. Look at you having a pint, you ham sandwich, packet of crisps. I went, yeah, all right. I said, you should go to the circus. I said, you'd be paid a fortune. I said, the fuck do they want with a plumber? Anyway.
Wow.
So on that amazing note, let's enjoy the fights, Ant.
Yeah.
Top.
Riyadh season.
There we go. Yeah, it is Beterbiev, Bivol. Beterbiev, he thinks. I'm not so sure.
Bivol.
Anyway, thank you for watching.